moment for me, and this weekend is a special moment for him, and I'm so grateful that I can be part of this game this weekend.
Siya, die radio beleers from Radio Laveld, it's a local radio station. Question is it, who is your best friend in the team, and how special is it for you to start tomorrow against him with you in what is his 128?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of close relationship in the team. There's a lot of guys in the group that I've started with. France, Damien, we started when we were 19 together. Andre, when he started here, I was here as well. So Jesse, Willie, all the guys, and obviously Chesley I'm very close with, and obviously Eben is somebody that I'm close with on and off the field. Our families are very tight. I remember I met him when I was 18, and then I had a sleepover with him when I went to the Institute. Actually, when I got introduced to the Afrikaans culture was through Eben, and we've been mates. Even when he left to go overseas, we stayed in contact. I would say, in the rugby family, he's definitely my man. I'm so excited to play with him this weekend, and I know he doesn't want anything to be about him this weekend. The biggest way of us showing how special he is to us as a team is if the team plays well and we win. I think that will be what he'll be proud of the most, if to drink out of that trophy on Saturday.
What makes him a stand-up apart from the catch?
Oh, I think a lot of people always see the brutal force that he plays with, the enforcing role that he's taken over, in our team. His leadership as well is really amazing. He's someone that I can lean on. But I think what people don't understand how intelligent he is, the rugby brain that he has, the plans that he comes up with. He's got a lot, so much more to him than just physicality, and we see it each and every single time. And I think the way he cares about the team, the way he cares about the values of the team, the way he wants us to put the team first at all times, and he wants to make sure, like, a lot of the values of the team that have been kept intact. And for me, it makes my life so much easier to have someone like him in the group. All I can focus on is the mood of the group, how the group is doing on the field as well. But he makes sure that everybody stays in line, and just how smart he is as well.
So when you made your debut here in Scotland, one of the first people to welcome you onto the turf was Eben himself. Now for you, as one of his best friends, to be able to leave the team out for him when he makes this landmark achievement as the most capped Springbok player of all time, was it quite special for you to sort of, in a way, return the favour that he showed you when he welcomed you onto the pitch when you made your debut?
Yeah, whatever way you look at it, I think it's special for all of us. I mean, we've spoken about it as a group. Coach Rassi spoke about it today. We're the group that's sitting with the guy that's going to run out as the most capped Springbok ever, and it takes a lot to get a lot of cap for the Springboks, and the manner that he's done it in, I think, is one of the most consistent guys that we have in our group, and he showed it year in, year out, and just how he carries other people with him. So it's not just the fact that I'm going to be running out leading the team. I think all of us, we just want to go out there and show what he means, but most importantly, do it for South Africa.
Yeah, just on that, I mean, with these type of milestones, there's always the danger of a little bit too much emotion for the team, etc. You guys have played big games and big finals as well, so you know how to handle that. Just tomorrow, is it more? It's more about making sure the rugby championship gets secured first, and then Eben's milestone second, or how do you see it?
100%. That's what he wants to. He wants to win the rugby championship. That's how we talk about. We've never won a full rugby championship as this group. The one that we won was one round. So that's our biggest motivation for the game, and then we'll celebrate his milestone. Without that, it's going to be a damp mood in the camp. So we just want to win the rugby championship, and we have to respect the team that we're playing with, and we have. And we saw what they could do last week. They're definitely a different team. A lot has changed. They have a lot of belief in their team, and the coach is changing things. He's doing things differently. The way he picked the team this weekend, putting most of the experienced guys on the bench. Obviously, the plan behind that. So we've done as much. We're more prepared than we were last week, I can tell you. that much, because I think we played against a lot of guys that we hadn't played against in the past, and now we're a little bit more prepared this week.
Sorry, when you say you're more prepared than you were last week,
I think we've seen what the new guys that have come into camp, what they've done, because they did make a big impact. Some of the guys that came from the sevens circuit, so we got to see how they play, and we got to watch more clips of them, you know, and it's given us a better idea that we this week have no excuse, because we've seen them play last week, and now we've watched clips during this week, and we're prepared for it as well.
Coach, there's again been a lot of talk about Manie and the kicking throughout the week. How is he been training? What are some of the conversations you guys have had with him? Morale-wise, how is he going into another test match where he starts in the 10 jersey?
Yeah, I think Manie's in good space, you know, and there's one thing about how we operate as a team, and he knows we've got his back. We support him 100% as a team, you know, and he's been Manie, you know, the money that brings energy into our team. That's one thing that sometimes people don't realize about him, the impact that he does have in our general play. And I know a lot of people, they focus on his kicking, but the impact that he brings, more especially with ball in hand, he's a special kid. So he is in a good space, and I think even the guys that are playing around him, if you think about Jaden, is getting an opportunity to start. He's been with us for the past couple of years, and he's one of the, we know he's got a bright future as a young kid, and getting Damien back also, you know, some of the guys we rested last week. So if you look at the way we selected the team, I think we've got guys that I feel like they are nice and fresh and be able to handle Argentina's probably speed, because Siya touched on it again. Most of their players, they've got a sevens background, you know. If you look at now what they've selected on the wing with Iskro, World Series Player of the Year, you know. And if you look at Manie, for example, what he offers to us, I think we should be able to counter whatever they're going to bring to us. But yeah, he is in a good space.
Just following up on that, what role did you play as a captain in supporting Manie after the abuse he received last week?
Manie, I talk to Manie all the time. He's my general. He's the most important guy in our team. Talking about where we're attacking, where the kicking game, where we go in the game, and he knows that every single guy in the team is backing him, you know, and you can see with the selection he's playing again this weekend, and we know what Manie is good at, and that's all we focus on. And a game, if you look at a kick and you think the game is lost there, we looked at the game, we saw so many opportunities that we left on the field, and it's either a missed tackle, somebody missed a tackle, they score a try. So that's how we look at the game. We don't look at one moment. There are many moments in a game where a game could be won. So me, all I did was hug Manie and tell him, he must tell me where to go. He must tell me when we want to go for touch, when we want to maul, when we want to scrum. He must just do what he does. So he's working with confidence. He's put it behind him, and all the coaches ask him, just do what you do, and what you can't do, somebody else can do. And that's why we play team sport. That's the beauty about rugby. You know, if you're lacking somewhere, somebody else will look after you in that. So Manie is in a good place. I'm not really worried about him, and the group is not worried about him. He definitely knows I back him 100%.
Coach, Coach, with all the talk about the other kickers, other potential kickers in the team throughout this week, how's it actually going to work with the goal kicking? Do you start with Manie? Because I think there's a confusion where a lot of people are thinking, well, the other guys are going to do the kicking and Manie's just going to do kicking.
We've got a plan in place, Sim, and I'm not going to go too deep on it, but we've got a plan in place. And like Siya just said now, maybe some players, if you lack something somewhere, you understand, someone also can make it up. And there's no rule in the game that number 10 must always kick for poles. There's no rule like that. So whoever on a day we feel like, you know what, he can do the job for us, it can be a prop. If he can kick for poles, then we'll ask a prop to kick for poles. You know, but we've got a plan in place. But once again, Manie will always be our general, for example. Do you understand? Like Siya just said now, a lot of people, they focus, yes, we had an opportunity to win the game with a kick, but there's a lot of things that we did wrong in the game, where we weren't even supposed to be in that stage where it was a close game, do you understand? If you start well, within 15 minutes, you've got 17 points, you know, and then yellow card came in, and then Argentina started to capitalize from that, So there's a lot of things that we could have looked at, as a coaching staff, and we understand very well. A lot of things that we saw in that game is things that we spoke about even before the game. Because once again, Argentina, they are a good side. And if you look at what they've achieved so far this season, to be able to travel to New Zealand and beat New Zealand away from home. And I keep on saying every week, people must give the respect they deserve, and to put 60 points against Australia also. So we knew the challenge. And for that 20 minutes when we had a yellow card, do you understand? They understood what needed to be done at that time. They capitalized from it. And like Siya just said now, maybe some players you miss tackle and it's 7 points. But a lot of people will focus on the 3 points that we've missed at the end. So once again, we took it as a team from the coaching staff also. We took it as a team. Listen, we've lost the game as a team. And then this week we've got an opportunity to rectify everything that we've done wrong last week. And you can't ask for any better place than Mbombela. I think the memories here, the last time we played against the All Blacks, it was just another special. I will never forget the Vilileru moment after he scored that final try, where you can just jump into the stands and just hug your supporters. That image for me is one of the special ones. So we know Mbombela, they're going to carry us, This is one of the crowds where the supporters, I know, they're always with you. Sometimes even things that won't go well, they don't turn against us, So hopefully we can also make it special for them.
Okay.
Speaking about missed tackles, it was probably the poorest defensive effort last week of the whole year. I know you guys had a yellow card, but I know you guys trained for that and you defended a lot better when there have been yellow cards previously. Has that been a big focus this week? And was it something, was it all on you guys? Or did Argentina bring something a bit different, a bit unexpected?
No, I think they definitely brought something different, but we prepared for it. And I think, some of the things that they do in the game is not what they normally did in the past. They definitely a different team. As coach said, they definitely deserve the credit that they are getting, and they played really well and they capitalized. We had Kirtley got the yellow card. They absolutely made use of that opportunity. But I think also on us, we weren't happy with some of the tackles we missed as a team, and we definitely focus on it this week. And I have no doubt it will be a different approach from us coming this weekend.
Coach, this year we've seen some of the Boks sometimes getting up to a slow start and having to sort of build into the game. Last week we were off to a flyer and then had that sort of 20-30 minute period where we kind of off it. What has the conversation been about that sort of 80-minute performance and trying to keep that intensity throughout the game?
I think the start last week, it was one of our main focus to start well against them, and we've managed to do that. But I think this week it's a totally different story. I think you have to play for 80 minutes. Because once again, the second 20 minutes in that first half, when they got an opportunity, like we spoke about, we're not going to use the yellow card as an excuse. To understand, it's just that when the Argentinian team, when they've got momentum in the game, they can capitalize straight from it. They've got players with confidence. If you look at the way, for example, Carreras at wing, and then you've also got another one, Carreras also at fullback. Those guys, they've got X factor, And for me, someone who comes from a sevens background also, if I look at their team, one thing people don't understand about them, they've got big heart. They're players, they work hard on the field. I think that is where sometimes we were a bit disappointed, because if you look at the way they had line breaks in the game, and normally in the other games against the All Blacks will have line breaks against us, but it's how we work hard to go and rectify those mistakes, which is we didn't see it last week, So it was one of the biggest focus, but I know one thing for sure about them. They are a very, very, very proud nation also. It's going to be a special occasion, but like Siya just said now, I think this week we're better prepared than them, and they've made some changes also into their team, and to be able to put a guy like Matera on the bench, one of their most experienced players, it shows that they've got a plan. But once again, also on the other side, we've also got our plan. And whoever is going to execute tomorrow, I think they will stand a good chance to win the game. But it's going to be an 80-minute.
Coach Siya Kolisi, can I ask you?
Is the coach? Is the coach? Okay.
That 40 minutes in the coaching box, what is the experience like? And I've got two-part question. Is there any plans for Siya Kolisi, maybe in the near future, in the late future, to consider going back into a coaching box? And the second part of my question, Siya, you guys are very professional. You guys are playing at the highest level. Argentina managed to spoil your Grand Slam opportunities last week. Do you guys ever use the words revenge or having a bone to pick with Argentina?
No, we definitely don't use. We don't use those words. Well, we haven't this week. We just know this is a new game, and we need to deliver. We need to rectify what we did last week. We had a great start, but we didn't continue the momentum, and that's what we want to start with intensity. That's what we speak about, And sometimes starting with intensity doesn't mean scoring points. Doesn't mean you're going to score points. It's just the intent and the way that you're doing things in the game. And the coaching box experience, I think I couldn't last longer than the half. There's a lot happening there, and it made me understand how hard it is for first of all, a guy like Dwayne to be, because the way they say the message is, Dwayne has to take it and digest it and say it as nice as he can to a player. But I firsthand heard how they actually speak. I actually did it before when I was a water boy, and I had to send a message to Trevor. I had to say it the nicest way the first time, and it didn't look like he listened to me because he did the same thing they told him not to do. Then I told him exactly what they said out in the box. I saw his whole body language change in the game. But what I saw from Absalom, it was very hot in Argentina. It was the humidity as well. And I saw the energy dropping, what they play. The coaches always tell us, body language. And I felt I was more useful standing on the side of the field and encouraging the players from there. I know my voice is not really going to fight against 50,000 people, I think, that they were in that stadium. But yeah, it's something different. It gave me a lot of respect for what they do, and it also makes me understand when I hear a message from Dwayne, okay, this is what they're saying because I saw it last week. But I won't coach, no. I won't coach, no.
For either of you guys, one thing Argentina's got right with this rugby championship is their discipline has been exceptional.
Yeah.
Contrast is you guys, when you look at the rugby championship stats, you guys have conceded the most cards of the 4 teams. And last week it was obviously costly, etc. Is there something you can pinpoint, or is it just pressure and random stuff that happens in the game? Or have you guys picked up any sort of...
Yeah.
I think we must give credit to them. Like I said, with the Contapomi in that team as a coach, he understands their DNA. Remember, he's also the legend of the game in Argentina and in the world, So I think he's pressing the right buttons with them, and for them to be able to apply pressure to oppositions and being able to keep disciplined, where in the past, for discipline was, I don't think they were at their best in the past. If you look at the guys, they record some of their players, I don't want to use the names, with the record of some of the players, But now to be able, I didn't say that. Now for them to have a clean sheet at the moment where they don't have a yellow card, and that's another thing is that if you look at the scrum that we had, the first scrum, when one of their pros popped out of the scrum, but they stayed in the fight, and they didn't try anything that was finally where they make changes where we don't go to uncontested scrums. That's one thing that I respect about them. They've managed to take us on, to handle us in that game. And hopefully tomorrow again we'll see more scrums, and hopefully the crowd can also be entertained, because of once again set pieces is part of our game, So for them to be able to take us on for 80 minutes with set pieces where they don't do anything funny, where I remember the game against Australia, that second half where you don't see a contest in the scrums. I don't think that's what supporters want to see, So hopefully tomorrow things will go well again. We can be able to see a contest for 80 minutes in set pieces and also in the lineouts. So yeah, that's one thing that I respect about them. Their discipline is good. It's been good. It's been good lately.
Is there something you picked up on your side?
No. Yeah, some of them are a high tackle. We train level change the whole time, and some it just happens in the moment. Someone catches you on that, and some of them have been team yellow cards, So but we honestly can't have that tomorrow. You know, we'll do our best to be, because we normally a disciplined team, so it hasn't been good in that point of view, and that's why they are where they are, because they didn't concede any cards this competition. That's something to be proud of, and it just like he said, Coach Felipe is obviously doing something special with that group, and they all believe in that. But yeah, that's something we have to rectify tomorrow.
Leo?
See, if things go well for the Boks, your trophy cabinet will bulge a little bit more. But the one thing you won't have is the #1 ranking in the world. Is that something that will irritate you?
If we win the trophy tomorrow, nothing's going to irritate me. That's the most important. I mean, yeah, there's not much I can say about it. I mean, it's nice to be #1, but if you've got a trophy and you're not #1, it's all good.
So?
Coach, other than the penalty discipline, what is it that Argentina doing better this week?
If I look at my department, for example, talking about work rate off the ball, if you look at the players in that team, I think that is something that they are another level. You know, that is something that we spoke about. You know, they've got energy on the field. You can see their players, they work very hard. They play for each other. I think we've also been there in the past as a team, where sometimes we're not, at that time, probably if I look at back in 2021, you know, where, yes, we were world champions, you know, but what was special about the team at that time, it was how we normally work hard off the ball, to understand. When we played against the All Blacks in Cape Town, you know, not to concede a try, but if you look at the line breaks they had in the game, to understand, and the fight that we saw from our players to work hard back and then being able to rectify those mistakes, that is something that people don't pay attention to Argentina. You know, they are really, really working hard off the ball, and they've got good, proper, fit players, you know, and they play for 80 minutes. So that is why I think for tomorrow, for us, 20-minute start, good start, won't be enough for us to win the game. We have to make sure that we play for 80 minutes. So yeah, besides the discipline, I think also they understand their DNA. I think they understand their strengths, and then I think their players also, they've got confidence. You know, so if you look at a guy like Choco Barres at 12, he's been massive for them. You know, world class the way he handles the game, physical side, and also when there's opportunities, the line breaks that he had last week. So I think they understand their strengths, which is now, like I said earlier on, ball in hand, they are very dangerous.
Now they're going to laugh again. Siya Kolisi?
Siya, maybe who even gets a bit of a response solutions crowd can
Yeah, u-Eben ndiyamvuyela kakhulu. Mhlobo wami and soka kude naye since na 18. Kumuntu asoloko ekhona ecaleni lami oko ndiqalile i-professional rugby career yami. Asoloko ndihamba naye ke kule ndlela ndihamba ngayo, and ngela xesha ndinikwa isihlalo soba ngumkhokheli indlela endisapota ngayo into engasoze ndilibale, wenza umsebenzi wami abelula apha etimini. So siyamvuyela kakhulu kum liqhawe uYeben, and ngoyena mntu kum ubona xa kuthethwa ngamabhokobhoko mna ndicinga ngaye, ndicinga yena uYeben, because indlela aziphethe ngayo phakathi ebaleni nangaphandle ebaleni, nendlela azinikela ngayo apha etimini yinto ngumzekelo omhle kakhulu for abantu abaninzi. Akayazi naye.
Basically, you can ask. Okay.
No, ndavuya kakhulu, but I think yiyo yodwa into engazange engekawini ne-team sonke engaphumeleli. Okay, tishara, Nkosi Mfundisi, engekaphumeleli, and futhi mina into ezazichazela le ndlela sihamba kuyo, because zininzi esizenzileyo siyile team, banika amadoda afumana amathuba awo kulo nyaka. So sifuna ukukhulisa i-team net ezowina nje namhlanje nangomso, because andiyazi mina ixesha lami lizaba ngakanani apha etimini na, but ndiyayazi ekuphumeni kwam la ngenayo ayakwazi udlala kulo mgangatho sidlala kuwo thina, umgangatho uzawusuka nyuke. So singavuya kakhulu uba sinowina for thina for Eben no na from South Africa.
I think eyona nto ibalulekileyo okokuqala ndingayenzi personal sidlalele ekhaya eMbombela phambi kwabalandeli bethu. Yes, besi-disappointed singakhange siphumelele last week, but kodwa ke I think eyona nto ibalulekileyo ukuthi make sure uba senza abalandeli bethu babe proud apha eMzantsi Afrika. So le nto bethethe ngayo Siya uba sigqibele asikayiwini i-championship epheleleyo, yabona. So I think izaba yi-motivation enhle kakhulu for thina as iqela lamabhokobhoko nabalandeli bethu. And enye into ebalulekileyo mna njengomqeqeshi na kuthi make sure uba like siyazi ingomso lethu lithini, yabona. Xa into ebalulekileyo ukuthi uba sithi make sure uba naxa sigqiba kule ndawo sikuyo nathi abalandeli abazawulandela bathi make sure uba bayifumana i-opportunity in a better place. Do you understand? So that's why sometimes ufumaniseke uba xa sifuneke sifumane i-opportunity sibuild i-squad depth. Do you understand? Ibalulekile loo nto kakhulu ukwenzela ukuba in the future knows that it take over.
Sisixhosa kanye English?
Khawume mani.
Angikho sure.
So kubalulekile ba sithi make sure ba sibuild i-squad depth also for the future yethu apha eMzantsi Afrika. So basinophumelela ingantle kakhulu, singayivuyela loo nto and singayivuyela nabalandeli bethu. Uzokhumbuleka nendebe yehlabathi sayiwina eFrance naseJapan, yabona. So now to be able uphumelele i-rugby championship phambi kwabalandeli bakho, I think iyaba into special kakhulu. Bese nditshilo ndisithi iMbombela abalandeli balapha ngabantu esiyaziyo ba they always behind us, yabona. Noba mhlawumbi sometimes kubakho ubunzima ematchini, siyayazi ba sometimes bayasikhera indlela abasisapota ngayo. So kubalulekile ukuthi ngomso sithi make sure ba sibenze babe proud nabo.
That was English. The one said closer.
Into ebalulekileyo xa udlala ne-Argentina kufuneke ube clinical ngendlela oyenza osebenza ngayo ebaleni, because apho banike khona opportunity bakubekho i-broken play lapho ba-dangerous kakhulu. Because uzukhumbule besentshilo ba abanye abalandeli babo basuka, abanye abadlali babo basuka ki-sevens. So xa igame uyenza ibe loose then ke bafuna loo nto bona, yabona. So kubalulekile ukuthi team bayoyajonga la 15 minutes indlela siqale ngayo phaya. I think besi-clinical nendlela besi-apply ngayo i-pressure kwi-set pieces zethu yonke into ibihamba kakhe, but ngelaa xesha siye safumana i-yellow card khona apho noko siye saphuma emgceni khona, yabona, bakwazi ucapitalize ngeza mistakes zethu besizenza phaa. So kubalulekile ukuthi tomorrow ba sifuna uphumelela against bona funeka ibe 80 minutes singaqali kakuhle and then siswitch off, because uzukhumbule kaloku ii-players zabo zine-X factor bangasemva. So if bangaba ubanike opportunities with loose play, they will punish you.
Last question.
English?
Percy, Ian from
Sorry, my last question I was going to ask about, it seems like for the first part of the season now, until now, at the end of this first block, South Africans are willing to pay a lot of money to come and see you at all these matches. 143,000 expected tomorrow. What do you say to those fans who've been supporting and who's coming out tomorrow again to come and support?
No, all I can say is, like, I don't like saying it in words, but thank you. I think we as a group, you know, when Coach Rassi speaks before we go out on the field, you know, he puts out reminders to us as players, like, not just what we say, like the way we play is how you say thank you to people, not by words, you know. That's easy to do by our efforts, what we do on the field. And this is the last time the South African crowd can get to see us this year. And we owe them a good performance after last week. And to those that can't make it because they can't afford to be here, we also thank you for going out and watching and putting on your green T-shirt, whether it's a Springbok T-shirt or not. We say thank you very much, and we'll hopefully make them proud tomorrow. And you know, the fuel that the South African people give us, like, we can't buy that. Honestly, we can't buy that anyway. And you can feel the difference when you play at home and when you play away. And I hope they come out in numbers and they can be as loud as they can tomorrow, and they get behind us like they always do. Because last week it was tough. It was tough. The Argentinian people are just, you know, same as us. They're very passionate about the people. And I really love Argentina and its people because similar to us. They're hard-working people who, a lot of the soccer players come from very similar background to mine, and they use sport to get where they are. Like someone like Carlos Tevez came from the township, but the work that he does now in his community is like some of the people that we look up to. So I encourage our people to please come and sing and enjoy themselves and be as loud as they can, and hopefully we can back that up with our performance tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Siya.
Can go.
Sticky.
You can get him to do it in Kosa.